You wake up before your alarms stare at the ceiling, and the first feeling of the day is already fatigue. Not the kind sleep fixes. You slept. You're still tired. You scroll for a while, get up, pour the coffee, and somewhere between the first sip and the drive to work, a thought arrives that you would never say out loud. I am so tired of everything. If that sentence lives quietly inside you, I want you to know something before we go one line further. This kind of tired is not laziness, and it is not a character flaw. It is a signal. Your mind is trying to tell you something, and most people spend years misreading it. Here's what almost everyone gets wrong. They treat this exhaustion like a physical problem. More sleep, more vitamins, a weekend off, and when the tiredness stays, they assume something is broken in them. But the deepest form of tired is rarely about the body. It is about carrying a weight your body was never designed to hold alone. Let me show you what that weight actually looks like. Think about how much you manage in a single day that no one ever sees. The worry you swallow so you don't burden anyone. The face you arrange before a meeting. The messages you reply to when you have nothing left. The endless low hum of doing fine when you are not fine. Psychologists sometimes call this the load of emotional labor, and it is invisible, which is exactly why it is so heavy. You cannot rest from a job nobody knows you are working. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you felt genuinely excited about something without immediately calculating how much energy it would cost you? That question matters because the tiredness we're talking about has a specific fingerprint. It is not just low energy, it is the slow fading of desire itself. Food you used to love tastes like nothing. Hobbies feel like homework. Even good news arrives muffled like it is happening to someone else through a wall. When the world loses its color like that, it isn't because the world changed. It is because you have been running on emergency power for so long that your system started shutting off everything it decided was non-essential, including joy. This is where the reframe changes everything. That numbness you feel is not the enemy. It is protection. When a person absorbs too much stress for too long, the mind does something almost merciful. It turns the volume down. On the pain, yes, but also on everything else. The flatness you hate is your own psyche trying to keep you safe by refusing to feel any more than it has to. It is not that you stopped caring. It is that caring became too expensive, so a part of you put it on hold. Now here's the contrarian part, the thing that took me a long time to understand. People who feel tired of everything are often the people who cared the hardest. The ones who showed up. The ones everyone leaned on. You do not burn out from indifference. You burn out from devotion with no refueling. The empty feeling is not proof that you are broken. It is proof of how much you gave before anyone thought to ask if you were okay. Let's name the signs so you can see the pattern clearly instead of just feeling it. The first sign. Small tasks feel enormous. Answering a text, washing a dish, choosing what to eat. These should be effortless and they are quietly exhausting. That is not weakness. That is a nervous system running on reserves. The second sign. You crave rest, but rest doesn't restore you. You lie down, you scroll, you close your eyes, and you get up just as depleted. Because what you are tired from isn't physical, so physical rest can't reach it. The third sign. You have started to withdraw and you tell yourself you prefer it. But listen closely to that story. Sometimes we call it solitude when it is really just the energy to connect being gone. The fourth sign, and this is the one people rarely admit. You feel guilty for being tired. You look at your life and think, I have no right to feel this way, other people have it worse. And so you push the feeling down, which takes more energy, which makes you more tired. It is a loop that feeds itself. If those signs feel like a mirror, stay with me because the way out is gentler than you think, and it starts with something almost absurdly small. The first step is not a grand life change. It is honesty spoken to at least one person. The reason emotional exhaustion grows so heavy is that we carry it in secret. Saying the words out loud to someone you trust, I have been really tired lately, in a way sleep doesn't fix, breaks the seal. You do not have to fix anything in that conversation. You just have to stop being the only one who knows. The second step is to protect a small piece of your day that costs nothing and gives something back. Not a productivity ritual. Not another thing to optimize. Something with no purpose except that it is yours. 5 minutes of sky. A song you let yourself feel. A walk with no destination. You are not trying to fix your whole life in 5 minutes. You are reminding your nervous system that not every moment is a demand. And the third step is the hardest and the most important. Let yourself want less for a while. So much of this tiredness comes from a standard you set when you had more to give. You are still trying to be the version of you that had full batteries. Lower the bar. Let good enough be genuinely enough. Rest is not something you earn after you finish everything. Sometimes rest is the thing that comes first so that there can be an everything at all. Here's the truth I most want you to carry. Feeling tired of everything does not mean you are tired of life. It usually means you are tired of the way you have been living it, running on empty, giving from a well no one refilled. That is not a verdict. It is an invitation to do things differently. And if this feeling has been sitting heavy for a long time, if the flatness runs deep and the mornings feel impossible, please treat that as a reason to reach for real support, not to push through alone. Talking to a doctor or a therapist is not a sign that you failed. It is one of the bravest, most ordinary